All right, let's dive into a story that's part cosmic rage, part galactic crusade. We're going to explore a truly epic what-if scenario. What in the universe happens when the Incredible Hulk crash lands into the Warhammer 40,000 galaxy and ends up right in the middle of the orcs? This one quote, it really sets the entire stage, doesn't it? I mean, the 41st millennium is already packed with horrors you can't even imagine. We're talking demons, galaxy-devouring insects, ancient robot gods. But this story, it throws something completely new into the mix, a force of nature that just breaks every single rule of this brutal reality. So how does a story like this even begin? Well, it's not with some grand invasion or a carefully planned attack. No, it starts with a cosmic accident, an event that absolutely no one, from the God Emperor on his throne to the Chaos Gods in the warp, could have ever seen coming. Just try to picture this. A rip in the very fabric of space and time. It's not a warp storm, it's not some psychic thing the Eldar have seen before, it's just wrong. A violent emerald green gash across the stars. And out of this impossible wound, something is thrown headfirst into the grim darkness of the far future. What's so interesting here is how all the big players in the galaxy see this exact same event. You've got the Imperium, who just sees an anomaly, something to be cataloged and, probably destroyed. But for the orcs, this wasn't an anomaly at all. This was a sign, a massive, world-changing sign. And that just perfectly captures the orc mindset. Where anybody else sees pure chaos or danger, they see a message from the heavens. To them, a giant green being falling out of a green sky isn't a threat. It's a prophecy coming true. It's like a gift from their own savage gods, Gork and Mork. And then, there he is, standing in a crater on some war-torn moon, a being made of pure, uncut rage. And the forces of chaos, which twist and corrupt literally everything they touch, they can't get a foothold. His mind is this fortress of anger so absolute that it just drowns out their whispers. He is fundamentally immune to the galaxy's #1 corrupting influence. Okay, so you've got a being this powerful dropping onto an orc world. That can only lead to one thing, right? A challenge for who's in charge. Absolute dominance. Orc society is, well, it's beautifully simple. There's no voting, no complicated line of succession. Power is everything. If you are the strongest, you're the boss, period. And if someone bigger and meaner shows up, well, they're the new boss. That is the only law that matters. And right on cue, the current war boss steps up to the plate. This guy is the biggest, toughest orc for light years in any direction. He's won countless fights to get where he is, so in his mind, this newcomer is just another chump to be smashed. He has absolutely no idea what he's about to face. Look, this wasn't really a fight. It was a revelation, a complete recalibration of what strength even means to the orcs. Yeah, the war boss could punch a tank to pieces, which is incredible, but the Hulk was operating on a planetary scale. The fight was over in a single punch that didn't just obliterate the war boss, it literally cracked the moon they were standing on. And this is the moment that changes the entire game. Orcs do not bow. They fight, they die, they follow the strongest, sure, but they don't show reverence. But the level of power they just witnessed was so absolute, so far beyond their comprehension of strong, it broke their programming. They weren't just following a new boss anymore, they were worshiping a new god. Okay, so this is where the scenario shifts from being a serious problem on one moon to a potential galaxy-ending catastrophe. Because the combination of the Hulk's unique powers and the orc's very weird biology, it creates something terrifyingly new. So orcs, when they get together in big numbers, generate this psychic field called the Wa. It's fueled by their collective belief and excitement. The more than there are and the more they want to fight, the more this field literally bends reality. It's why their red vehicles actually go faster, just because they all believe they do. Now, imagine plugging the single angriest being in existence directly into that engine. The truly terrifying thing here is the cycle. It just keeps feeding itself. Hulk's anger supercharges the orcs. The orcs' belief and their Wog energy then get funneled back into the Hulk, making him even stronger and even angrier. It's a perpetual motion machine of pure destruction, and it just grows exponentially with every single fight. There's no off switch. So how does the rest of the galaxy, a place that's already, constantly on fire, react to this new infinite threat? The short answer? With total and complete panic. And these reactions tell you everything you need to know. The Imperium's go-to move is, of course, just blow up every planet he touches. Classic. The Eldars see him as this walking paradox who's literally tearing up destiny itself. But the most important reaction here, that comes from chaos. They can't tempt him. They can't corrupt him. They can't even talk to him. He is a total blind spot, and they're all seeing malevolence.
Just let that sink in for a second. The literal gods of fear and despair and rage are now feeling fear themselves. The ultimate predators of the galaxy have finally met something they can't understand and can't control, and it absolutely terrifies them. That fact alone tells you everything about the scale of this new threat.
And so, it begins. The green god has an infinite army, and that army has an infinite power source. The galaxy is about to experience war on a level it has never, ever seen. So here we see that feedback loop in brutal action. The Hulk isn't just leading from the command deck. He is the main weapon. He's literally jumping between starships, tearing Imperial battlecruisers in half with his bare hands. And every single ship he destroys, every battle he wins, it just pours more fuel on the fire, making him and his entire orc armada even more powerful for the next fight. Look, the Imperium of Man has faced Tyranid hive fleets that eat entire star systems and Necron dynasties that can just turn off suns. But this gets a brand new classification. An extinction class threat basically means you can't fight it. There is no strategy. The only protocol is to run and then blow up the planets behind you just to slow it down. And that is the absolute heart of this whole thing. The orcs have always been a galactic problem, right? A constant buzzing threat. But they were messy, disorganized, fighting each other just as much as their enemies. The galaxy could, for the most part, handle the orcs. What it cannot handle is the one uncorruptible, infinitely powerful being who finally united all of them and made them kneel.
And that's the question that's now echoing from the Golden Throne all the way to the darkest pits of the warp. When you have a force of nature that literally feeds on the very war you'd use to stop it, a being that's immune to all the galaxy's most insidious powers, what could you possibly do? The gods themselves are asking that question because, for the first time, they don't have an answer.